Alright, baseball fans, we've talked recently about controversial umpire calls and the debate around the automated ball strike system. But what happens when an umpire makes a major blunder, and the rules of the game prevent that call from being corrected? Even with crystal clear video evidence? Well, that exact scenario played out in a recent game, resulting in one of baseball's rarest and most exciting plays, a triple play, feeling less like a moment of defensive brilliance and more like a triple gut punch for the team on the wrong end of the call. Fans are still furious after the New York Mets found themselves in this precise, infuriating situation during their game against the Washington Nationals on Friday. Everything seemed to be going smoothly for the Mets in the fourth inning at Nationals Park. They had a prime scoring opportunity, no outs recorded yet, with runners on first and second base. The table was set to potentially put some runs on the board early in the game. Then, Jesse Winker came to the plate and hit what appeared to be a clean line drive towards first base. Nationals first baseman Nathaniel Lowe was playing defense, and the ball went in his direction. The critical moment came with the umpire's ruling. The umpire signaled that Lowe had caught the line drive cleanly in the air. This ruling immediately set off a chain reaction that resulted in the rarest of baseball plays. Because the ball was ruled a catch, Jesse Winker was automatically out, with the runners having to tag up on a caught ball. Mark Vientos, the runner at first, and Brandon Nimmo, the runner at second, were immediately vulnerable in the ensuing chaos triggered by the catch call. Mark Vientos was apparently put out trying to advance or get back to the base at first. And Brandon Nimmo, realizing the ball was ruled caught, couldn't get back to second base in time and was doubled off by the Nationals' defense. Just like that, in a flash, 3 outs were recorded on one play. A triple play. The inning was over, and the Mets' scoring threat vanished in an instant. Triple plays are incredibly difficult to execute, requiring perfect timing, communication, and defensive execution. They are typically moments of pure baseball excitement, a defensive gem that electrifies a ballpark. But this one felt different, poisoned by controversy, because while the umpire ruled it a clean catch by Nathaniel Lowe, replays of the play showed something completely different. Video evidence clearly, undeniably showed that the ball had bounced on the ground before it reached Nathaniel Lowe's glove. It was not a catch in the air. It should have been ruled a ground ball, which would have likely led to a completely different outcome on the base paths. Perhaps a force out at second or first, but almost certainly not a triple play. So, an incorrect call by the umpire directly resulted in a triple play that ended a scoring threat and shifted the momentum of the game. The obvious question on everyone's mind was, why wasn't this reviewed? Can't they just check the replay and fix the call? And here lies the major issue that has generated so much debate and fury. Under Major League Baseball's current video replay rules, certain types of plays are specifically excluded from review. And, infuriatingly for the Mets and their fans, fly balls or line drives fielded by a defensive player in the infield are not subject to video review. Unlike a similar play made by an outfielder, which is reviewable, this infield play, despite clear video evidence of an incorrect call, could not be challenged or reviewed by the umpire crew or the replay center in New York. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza disputed the call vehemently from the dugout, arguing that it wasn't a catch. But the umpires had to enforce the rule. Infield line drives, fly balls are not reviewable. Period. Even if the replay screen in the stadium clearly shows the ball hitting the ground, the rule prevents them from using that evidence to overturn the call. Baseball analysts, fans, and players alike have voiced their outrage over this specific incident and the rule that allowed it to stand. Baseball analyst Ben Verlander captured the widespread annoyance succinctly, tweeting, "Insane, this can't be reviewed. Mets got screwed. Umpire makes a bad call. Says it's caught in the air. It results in a triple play to end the inning. Brutal. The sentiment is clear. How can a professional sport at the highest level allow a demonstrably incorrect call that results in such a rare and game-altering play to stand simply because of an arbitrary limitation in the replay rules?" MLB's stated reasoning behind excluding certain plays from review is typically to keep the game moving and restrict challenges to factual decisions like fair, foul, force, tag plays, or boundary calls. They want to avoid slowing down the game with lengthy reviews on every single play. However, as this specific play involving the Mets and Nationals dramatically illustrates. Such limitations, while intended to speed up the game, can result in major game-changing errors being allowed to stand, completely undermining the goal of ensuring correctness and fairness in critical moments. This blunder is adding significant fuel to the calls for changing MLB's replay rules. Critics argue that the priority should be guaranteeing correctness on the field, especially when video evidence is immediately available to show a clear error on an impactful play like one leading to a triple play. The argument is that if the technology exists to get the call right, and the call was clearly missed and significantly impacted the game, there should be a mechanism to fix it, regardless of whether it was an infield or outfield play. The controversy surrounding this non-reviewable triple play serves as a stark reminder of the shortcomings of MLB's current replay system. It highlights the tension between preserving the flow of the game and ensuring accurate outcomes. An unacceptable umpire blunder, combined with a limiting rule, resulted in a devastating play standing despite clear evidence it was based on a missed call. Incidents like this add significant weight to the argument that Major League Baseball needs to re-evaluate its replay rules and consider expanding the scope to ensure that critical, game-altering errors can always be corrected, prioritizing fairness over rigid adherence to rules designed perhaps more for pace than for ultimate accuracy. Alright, baseball fans, get ready to be frustrated, because a play from Friday's game between the New York Mets and the Washington Nationals is sparking outrage and fueling calls for MLB to change its replay rules. We're talking about a triple play that occurred in the fourth inning. The Mets had runners on first and second with no outs, a prime scoring opportunity. The batter, Jesse Winker, hit a hard line drive towards first base. Nationals first baseman Nathaniel Lowe fielded the ball, and the umpire ruled it a catch. Based on that ruling, it immediately set off a sequence where the runner at first was forced out, and the runner at second was doubled off, resulting in a triple play that ended the inning just like that. A triple play is rare and exciting, but this one immediately felt wrong. Replays showed, very clearly, that the ball actually bounced before Nathaniel Lowe caught it, meaning, it was absolutely not a catch as ruled by the umpire. It should have been a ground ball, likely resulting in just one out at most, and keeping runners on base with the inning continuing. But here's the truly infuriating part, and the reason this incident has caused so much fury, under Major League Baseball's current replay rules. This play was not reviewable. Infield fly balls or line drives fielded by a defensive player in the infield are specifically excluded from replay. Mets manager Carlos Mendoza disputed the call, but there was nothing he could do. The rule prevented a review. This has left fans, analysts, and even players furious, calling the blunder unacceptable. As baseball analyst Ben Verlander tweeted, quote, "Insane, this can't be reviewed. Mets got screwed. Umpire makes a bad call. Says it's caught in the air. It results in a triple play to end the inning. Brutal." MLB's reason for excluding certain plays from replay is often to keep the game moving, prioritizing speed. But as this play perfectly demonstrates, those limitations can lead to major, game-changing errors on incredibly critical plays. This controversial, non-reviewable triple play is a prime example of why calls are mounting for Major League Baseball to look back at its replay rules and make changes. Prioritizing correctness and ensuring the right call is made on significant plays like a triple play, arguably needs to outweigh the desire to speed up the game. This blunder is only going to make that argument for rule changes louder.